Hey everyone, Temporal here, and today we are going to be reviewing a gold Reinhardt player. Let's jump to when they've actually picked Reinhardt. If you guys are enjoying the content, do feel free to like and subscribe. That helps me out. Or if you find that you are looking to get coaching yourself, that's wonderful as well. You can join my Discord in the description below and see what my rates look like, connect with other people getting coaching, have some interesting discussions, all that good stuff. So let's see what we've got here. Okay, so that shield, that I looked away, my fault, but that shield was angled rather interesting. Was there a threat above that was more than a Lucio? So that's just you being distracted by the health pack. Why are we looking this way rather than over here? The main threat comes from over here, plus there's Lucio shooting here. So if we were advancing, we'd be doing it this way with our shield held this way. But that's fine. We'll make adjustments. Okay. Good that you got that. Ah, this. So this isn't actually what you want to do with Reinhardt. I'll let you clear the soldier up there first. So what you want to realize is there is a soldier up here that needs to be cleared before you can take this space. Like, you have to just wait here for your team to clear this soldier. You don't need to stand here where the opposing team can shoot you. You can just stand here, and if they try to come through and fight you while you're clearing the soldier, you can swing at them. And if you want to stand here and shield for your Zarya and yourself while your Zarya deals with the soldier, that's just fine. But you want to be here, not here. You really don't in Overwatch in general want to be in situations where you have someone shooting you from behind and in front. Just change the angle so that it can't happen. And in this case, you change the angle by standing here. Cool. Okay, so why are you scooting back into the open here? You already fired your Fire Strike. You already used your Zarya's projected bubble. When your Zarya uses projected bubble like that, you have a good window to either swing at the opposing Reinhardt if you're close enough, or to throw out your Fire Strike. And I liked that you did throw out your Fire Strike when you had that bubble. But I don't like that now, when you know your Zarya doesn't have that bubble to give you, and you only have less than half of your barrier, you're scooting back into the open. We don't want to just occupy this space right here. Actually, let's pull open our Epic Pen. We don't want to just occupy this space right here. We want to push through this space right here and go fight stuff. We want to push through this space right here and rotate. Or we want to hold this corner, and the way we hold space isn't by standing here with our shield in the middle, it's by standing here where we can hammer into the middle and they can't shoot it at us. Does that make sense? So we don't have an option of just standing here with our shield up. That is not in our playbook as Reinhardt. We can, with a full shield or a near full shield, rotate, rotate, or we can push into the enemy. If we have a bubble, we can push into the enemy and swing. If we have a bubble, we can peek and Fire Strike. But there aren't situations where we just stand here with our shield up. We can wait back here for our shield to recharge. Maybe Zarya will get a bubble back then too. And then we could make a real push. But we don't just stand in the middle here. We're not going, hey, let me create a shield that my team can stand behind and shoot at them. That's not what we do as Reinhardt. We like helping our team, but we don't like helping our team so much that we just stand there. Our shield, if you actually think of your shield selfishly as a tool to get you two enemies that you can swing at, you're going to play Reinhardt better. And I really do mean that. Like, the hero works better if you think of him as a, no, my shield is my tool to get to the enemies so I can swing them, or my tool to help rotate my team into these places, etc. Back to my Reinhardt. Yeah, so you don't want to keep getting pushed out like this. And part of the problem here is you only had 600 shield when you sort of started this little dance. And you don't want to be doing this dance. If you had full shield, if you just waited over here, you wouldn't have to do this dance. You'd push forward, you'd take a swing, and this Reinhardt would be gone. You see what I'm saying? You can't. You don't have shield and you have half health. Now push. Now push. You have half a barrier and he has none. You just heard his barrier destroyed sound. Okay, you don't want to be backing out like this. And let me give you a better idea of what I mean here. Oh, maybe that was your bear that went down. Doesn't matter. So he's down to like no health. You can't really push this, unfortunately, because you have no resources. But yeah, that's his barrier destroyed. And you have a little less than half a barrier. Now you have enough barrier, but not enough health. Okay, if you're going to commit to this, that's fine. But you push in. You push in. You don't just hold this going, hey, I hope eventually my team is going to do something. No, you lead the team to where they're going. No, you can't be backing up here. That swing was a little early. You wanted to get closer to that Reinhardt and then swing if that's what we were looking to do there. But at this point, you just need a full reset. You don't have any easy cleanup to get. Just do your full reset back here, get full health, get full shields, wait for your Zarya to have a team bubble, and then you push. And you can tell your team on comms, pushing in 3, 2, 1, and then push. I don't mind that you got shattered. Ideally, you'd have blocked it, but I don't mind. My bigger concern is that Reinhardt is the initiation tank. You are the most responsible person for true initiation on your team, and you're not actually doing it. You're standing in the open, sort of waiting for your team to get a pick, going, if I shield them a little, it'll help them get a pick. It does not help them very much at all. You are the one who starts the fight. Good, good. I want you to be a little more aggressive when you have a bubble than that. So you sort of like took one half swing while backing up. I want you to go forward and try to get 2 swings out of your bubble. That's a little aggressive. You can't necessarily fit 2 full swings with your bubble, especially if you realize you have the bubble late. But I'd rather you err on that side until you internalize this aggression a bit more. So if you have a bubble, that means you should be swinging. Ideally, you walk up to an enemy, start your swing, then get bubbled, and do get 2 swings on them, and it's beautiful. But at the very least, I want you going, oh, I have a bubble. I have to do something offensive with that bubble, whether that's through a fire strike, which you've done a couple times and that's good, or take a swing or 2 that actually hit the enemies there. And, you know, obviously, if you get bubbled back here, you can't swing at them. You're going to have to fire strike. But if you're bubbled here, yeah, you're a little out of range, but you can take that extra step forward and swing at them. So please do so. Okay, let's go back here. Shatter it. Oh, it's a shame. So, it's okay to shield him out like you did, but you actually didn't want to shield him out while backing up. You wanted to shield him out while walking towards him. You sort of want to go, no, I'm going to walk towards you, so now that I'm controlling the space and it's hard for him to go back in without going through a hammer, or you could even push him back off of his healing station, so he's not getting healing station value. You didn't want to back up like this because now you're giving him more control over the point. You back up and he goes, oh, there's more of the point I can see. If you're here, your shield blocks, blocks him, and you get to keep going forward and push him out. If you back up to here, then what happens is your shield blocks like this, and that means he's got all this space all over the point that he can see, etc., everything that isn't this shield right here. So we don't want to do that. We want to advance on him, and we could have even pushed him off his healing station. It was always going to be rough because he's got a Lucio with him, but this is kind of what you're committing to, and it's right to be pushing here. If you could zone these 2 out and just not lose while you zone them out, look at how much your team is going to win against the rest of this. Like, your team has a nice concave, a nice surround. They can potentially do some good work into the team here. Now, it's a 4v4, but they do have a nice nade. This Sombra is clearly leaving right now. Like, they are in an advantage in this situation. If you can zone these guys out, you can help them drive their advantage. Or you could push up here, push the soldier off, and actually straight out swing them off the point. So that's what we want to be doing. Good, good. You can actually cancel that last swing though with a fire strike. So you can Reinhardt has a kind of long backswing, and you can only hit any individual person once with each swing. You know, once to the left, once to the right. So once you hit him, you can go swing, swing, and the instant you hit him with the second swing on a 200 HP hero like this, you can press your fire strike button and then recenter your camera to not immediately, but to fire off that fire strike faster than you'd be able to get another swing on them, and it's a little more damage too. Not that that should matter, because it should be more than enough damage either way to get it, whether it's a third swing or a fire strike. But canceling for that fire strike can be good. You don't need to charge that. This is actually a little dangerous. You're going to put yourself in a situation where it's a little harder for your team to help you. It's a little better, this charge, because your echo is right here. But if you think about the fact that your team is mostly over here, you're putting yourself primarily out of line of sight of them, when all you needed to do was push up and swing. And you could actually be hitting multiple people with a swing right now, right? That would get the Zarya and the Lucio. If you kept running forward, you'd get the Zarya, the Lucio, and the Ana. This charge, you're going to hit the Zarya, and maybe you're going to bump the Ana. That's not really great, and it's going to leave you stunned, self-stunned with your charge for a lot longer than just swinging at them would. Shield, shield, shield. Okay. Good stuff. So you don't want to necessarily just be standing here like you are. You want to go, hey, let's get 6 and then push. Or if there's respawns in play on both sides, let's get more than they have with the same number that they have and then push. You know, you're looking for a timing window. You're not looking to just stand here. If you would just be standing here letting your team push, you should instead be standing here waiting for your team and then pushing when you have the right number of people. Because you're going to actually need to have shield barrier to push. Yeah, you can't push. So you're creating a lot of time where you can't push here because your barrier is constantly low, because you're constantly going out and absorbing some barrier like this. Now you could push. You could push off this, even with your Zarya hacks. Now you don't push. Don't push. Don't push into the beat. Just wait. Don't even fight them. Just get barrier back. Okay. Should just be cleanup.
My ultimate is charged. 30 seconds remaining. Time the card is fading. Objective A captured. New defense point. Objective B.
I've sighted the enemy.
My ultimate is almost ready.
So the better push is through top right, but that's fine. Follow up on it. Yeah, you can't be backing up like this. Your Zarya just made a big play. She hit a grab. Anytime your team hits a big ult like that, your default automatic thing should be to press forward to commit to the play. Even if it doesn't seem great, you're going to be better served if you're going forward when your team is trying to make a play like that. And a big ult is almost always a good play to back up. I see you've got a little bit of a I'm going down, so I'm going to hit charge habit. Probably want to break that early. It's actually not as good a habit as you think it is. Your damage is significantly better with your hammer. Hope you're doing a slightly better job of breaking it there, Game Buster in chat. It's a tough one to push. Second especially. Just leave. Just leave.
Get into position.
Recharge your shield. Recharge your shield. So this is making it very hard for your team to push, where you're constantly like in there draining half or 2/3 of your shield. You need 3/4 to a full shield to really be able to push, and because you're constantly trying to give your team this window to shoot, rather than using your barrier to get to a full state where you can push, it's going to be hard to actually go in. So you're probably going to cap off of this, and both of your caps have been off of you hitting good shatters, which is great, but it's putting all the pressure on you to make things work. Much easier if you use, near full barriers for good pushes and you're a little more aggressive. Good. Yeah, that's fine. Might not finish that out.
This is not over. Understood. Join me. Group up with me.
30 seconds remaining.
We do not have time to waste. Attack now.
Come out and face me.
So this is the better push, but I don't think your team is with you. Yeah, see how your McCree is still back here? You've still got 18 seconds. You can let your McCree have gotten to here. You could even let your McCree be all the way with you and still touch this with a second or two left. So this is a little early, but I get the anticipation. The music is exciting. It's telling you to push. Okay.
10 seconds
Yeah, so when you're purple like that, it's generally worth it to just shield. Just shield until the purple wears off. Okay, so that's fine. So your big thing really is going to be understanding you're not there to stand in the open to put your shield up to let your team shoot. You are not that sort of temporary barrier. You are a temporary barrier for your team to push behind. Be selfish with your barrier. Use your barrier to get yourself into range to swing at the enemy.
ready for battle.
All this standing around while there's work to be done.
But good shatters. Good shatters.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Are you going to go for the corner fire strike? No. Okay. A little late. You generally want to throw that fire strike as they're approaching the corner. You don't want to show it after they've sort of shown up. Good counter charge. Swing to the right. Swing to the right. Okay. I want you to move a little to the right here rather than to back up here. I would like you to close your angle in this direction so that their backline can't see you while you swing at their Reinhardt. That's going to be safer for you than sort of being in the open here. This is better than being in the open, going to the left here, but this is going to be your sort of best option in most situations. Okay. Don't walk into the open when you're hacked like that. Stay behind the cover. Your team still would have dealt with her.
Enemy contact.
So you're too low on barrier. At this point, you need to slide over here and be recharging your barrier. And you can still fox guard the entrance a bit. You can swing into about half of this entrance from the right side, but their backline can't shoot at you. You see that? So you can fox guard this. Doing your shield is okay, but you can fox guard it with your hammer from here while your shield recovers. And that's what you want to be doing right now. And if your concern is that if you're over here, you won't be able to countercharge him, you don't really care, because if he charges, he's going to end up deep, or he's going to hit a rock or something like that. And then you can slip back in here and block out his team, scare his team off with your hammer, while your team just crushes him, because they can shoot at him from all sides. He'll go down very quickly, etc. So if you're over here, he really can't charge you. You don't even have to have the muscle twitch to, oh, can I countercharge in time? You can push up. You can push past the choke. You're up by 1. If your team is willing to push, which your Moira was, you can push in those situations, but only if you have enough barrier. So again, preserving that barrier matters. Rotate right, rotate left. Ooh, that's unfortunate. So the thing about that charge is you didn't get value, and it's a hard thing to get value. You're often going to miss with it. Was if you'd taken 2 hammer swings, especially while nanoed, you'd have shatter, and you'd potentially be stopping this push with shatter instead of kind of wandering around, not having anything you can really hit. Yeah, you see during that entire nano, you didn't get anything really done. I think you bounced someone with a charge, so 50 damage became, what, 75 damage? You couldn't hit other swings except that last swing on Soldier, and you didn't hit the Fire Strike. And I don't mind that your mechanics didn't hit stuff. That's not what I'm objecting to at all. What I'm saying is the decision to charge put you in a situation where it was going to be very hard to get value if you didn't land that pin. Charge isn't that great of an ability for Reinhardt. Most players overvalue it compared to his hammer swings. You don't need to go back to deal with that. Your team has it more than handled. More than handled. To the right of the choke is where you want to be playing right now. Again, more to the right, you need to be charging shield again. Okay. You want to push into this. So that's what I was talking about before, where when your team hits a big ult, you want to push into it. You want to go, this is the go sign, I'm going to push, I'm going to do damage.
Surrender to my will. Gale the Mahal.
Back and ready. Defend the objective. Greetings.
Objective lost. New defense point. Objective B.
Hey guys, in chat. So in general, your defense is up on the left. I'll answer that question in a second, Sajid. Ooh, too deep, too deep. Well, that's gonna work, yeah. Oh, you could have hit that if you'd swung your screen too, but that's too advanced. Okay. So, not a big deal. Generally, you want to defend on the top left high ground, like where you guys are trying to push through. That's going to be better. If they're pushing low ground, that doesn't particularly bother you. You get to leave your McCree on high ground, have the angle at them. You get to drop and contest, etc. You also don't want to do those deep charges because they leave you away from your team. So this goes more back to, hey, you're overvaluing charge a bit. Your hammer is a very good ability. So the hold is, yeah, here. The hold is here. And swing from here. You swing from here and his team can't see you. but your team, if they're up here, can see him. So this is where you want to fight him. You don't need to be shielded. You can be swinging at him. You can be swinging at him from right over here in the future. Little late on the shatter, but still good. You've hit some big shatters. Yeah, the playing as red in replays can be a little confusing, I agree. Though it doesn't mess me up as bad as the contender stuff where it's green and white. I just can't track that effectively. I mean, I can, but I mix it up more than I mix up the red flare. Close the angle. Again, you want to have some barrier for when he gets here. You don't want... So that charge, it stuns you. You know how you're self-stunned for a moment, and you're self-stunned in view of his entire team. You don't really want that. And you've made it harder for your team to heal you because this angle is particularly in the way. So again, you don't really want that charge. You want to swing here. If you were to charge, you'd hit a charge here, if that makes any sense.
Triple kill. 60 seconds remaining.
Group up here. Come out and
30 seconds remaining.
Okay, so now you can drop behind them and hit that charge. Yeah, that's fine. I wouldn't necessarily tell you to do that at a higher SR, but it's a reasonable move here.
10 seconds remaining.
I think you went for the hard charge, though. The easier charge was from here. The easier charge was from here. They have a narrow thing they have to walk across. This is just stall time. Can you get a shatter in time? No. Maybe. Hit a swing and immediately shatter. Yep. Okay. So, good job winning that. The big things for you to work on as a player are going to be that barrier management, understanding that you do not exist to just be a shield for your team to shoot through. Use that barrier to enable your rotations and to enable you to get to enemies that you want to swing at. You can't, especially on your attacks, go, I'm going to stand in the choke to be a barrier until my team gets a pick. You are not being an initiation tank if you do that, and Reinhardt's role, the reason you want him on a team, is to be an initiation tank, to actually assertively start fights for his team. You're not doing that if you just stand in your choke and hold up a shield. And when openings do come up, you then don't have enough shield to really push because you're wasting your shield like that. So stand to the side, swing into the choke. That's what you do. When you have 3/4 barrier, full barrier, use your barrier to push either to the next place you want to wait from, so new cover, or into the enemy so that you can swing your hammer at them and, be a happy little Reinhardt. The other thing is you are overvaluing charge. I'm seeing too many charges. Really, that hammer is a lot more valuable than you think. So if you're hitting charges, make sure they're short charges. Make sure you're not self-stunning yourself with the charge in sight of the entire enemy team like that. You do those two things, you're going to see some nice climbing there, and that's going to help. Chat will get to you in just a second, but guys, if you are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe. That really helps me out. Or if you're looking for coaching yourself, you can join the Discord in the description below and see what my rates look like. So going back through the chat questions I didn't address here. So there was a question about Is it not worth mentioning to juggle between armor and shield resource at this rank? You certainly can juggle between shield and armor resource. That's a thing you want to do. What that gets into a little bit is, hey, if you're taking a bunch of shield damage, you can let the shield go, take a little bit of armor damage, put the shield back up because your Rhine can get your healers, your supports can heal back up your health. They can't heal back up your shield. So you potentially want to take some of the damage onto your body rather than take all of it onto your shield. Just make sure you're still blocking the critical stuff like the nades, the sleep darts, the hooks, etc., with your barrier there. So that is something you can do, but no, that is not something that I'd recommend this player learns. I'd recommend this player do a simpler version of, if I have armor, I can probably swing my hammer. If I don't, maybe I need to shield. Just based on the gold, relatively low gold that we're talking about here. Was there anything else here? We talked about contenders colors. Uh, be a happy little Reinhardt. Yeah, I liked that too. Uh, there we go. Cool. Cool. Yeah, exactly. And we've got someone in chat pointing out that they love it when the opposing Rhine charges offensively. I agree, Game Buster. It makes it quite easy to go, oh, our entire team is a nice surround concave on you, and we easily eliminate you. Okay. If anyone else has questions, you can throw them into the comments. Love having you guys here. Thanks, guys. And I'll probably do some more streaming later tonight, but this is probably it for the morning. Later, guys. Temporal out.